one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story comes from Fox 35 Orlando. A former Holly Hill Police Department employee has filed a lawsuit in federal court accusing ex-chief Jeffrey Miller and Captain Christopher Yates of fostering a toxic workplace with sexual harassment and misconduct. Now, the lawsuit claims department fostered a boys' club. What we know, a former employee of the Holly Hill Police Department has filed a civil lawsuit against the former police chief Jeffrey Miller and Captain C, alleging that's Christopher Yates, alleging a toxic workplace culture that included sexual misconduct, harassment, negligence. The lawsuit claims that the department fostered a boys' club environment where inappropriate behavior was tolerated. Specific allegations include unwanted physical contact, sexually explicit requests, and even attempts to pay for sexual favors while on duty. The lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Florida, Orlando Division. Now, here's what we don't know. It remains unclear how widespread the alleged misconduct was within the department or whether other officers may come forward with similar claims. No criminal charges have been filed against Miller or Yates, and it is unknown whether further investigations might lead to legal actions beyond the civil lawsuit. The city has not publicly responded to the lawsuit. They won't. And the extent of potential settlements or consequences remains uncertain. The backstory. Now, concerns about misconduct within the Holly Hill Police Department appear to have been raised for years. Former Sergeant Robert Milne told Fox 35 News that he reported inappropriate behavior to human resources, but felt his concerns were ignored. They probably were. An officer's complaint to HR described Miller as a sexual deviant with multiple harassment accusations against him. Despite these warnings, no action was taken until the lawsuit surfaced. The light came on. Miller resigned in March of 2024. Yates was placed on leave around the same time, but he later resigned. Holly Hill Police Chief Byron Williams stepped into the role in July, inheriting a department under scrutiny. With a focus on accountability and innovation in his first 6 months, Williams said he was committed to driving positive change for both the department and the community it serves. Under Williams' leadership, the department has introduced several initiatives, including a new canine program, a drone program, and a burglar box program, with more projects in the pipeline. What about the Boys Club program? So, what they're saying, Robert Milne, a former Holly Hill police sergeant, said previously, I had gone to human resources a couple of times, and I had reported a few of the incidents. I was kind of hoping that it would make an impact back then, and it more or less fell on deaf ears, end quote. So what's the timeline? Well, the lawsuit was recently filed through the allegations. They date back to Miller's tenure as chief. Both Miller and Yates are no longer with the police department. The case will now proceed through the civil court system, and further developments will depend on legal proceedings and any potential settlements. So if you want to read the lawsuit was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Middle District of Florida, Orlando Division, and you can read it below. There's in the story a picture of it, or you can click a link and get a PDF, and you can pull up the lawsuit. So the link to this news story is in my description box. You click that link. Within their story, there's a link for a PDF, or I saw a inserted image of the lawsuit. I don't know if that's it in full or if it's just like the front page. But in that story, you can click it and kind of look through the lawsuit if you want that was filed. And but did you hear what Milne said, the Sergeant Milne? Hey, I went to HR several times. It fell on deaf ears. In other words, it's like police department. We ain't messing with them. Mm-mm. Got that blue line going.